OpenAI finally released open source LLMs, the first time since GPT-2 in 2019. What an open company, right? Just teasing a bit, as I'm always thankful when big companies release open source stuff. So, is this an AGI gift for the guys running LLMs at home? Nope. It's not a revolution compared to other open source models available, but it's one of the best ones right now. Let's cut through the hype and see what you need to know about those models. The two new OpenAI open source OSS models are GPT OSS 120 billion and GPT OSS 20 billion, released on August 5, 2025. They are designed for reasoning, agentic tasks, and customization, with a focus on STEM, coding, and general knowledge. Both are text-only models, trained on mostly English data, supporting up to 128K context lengths. They emphasize efficiency as the large model fits on a single 80GB GPU and the smaller on device with as little as 16GB RAM. Let's take a quick look at the performance. GPT OSS 120 billion fits in the medium open source model category from the artificial analysis benchmarks, between 40 billion and 150 billion models. In this category, GPT OSS 120 billion has the best overall intelligence score while being the 5th largest model. Not bad. Also, it has the best ratio of intelligence to number of active parameters in this category, though it's not the best at the ratio of intelligence to total number of parameters, but still is among the best models. Remember that there is a difference between total number of parameters and active parameters. Modern LLM architecture use mixture of experts, while you train a bigger model overall. But when generating, only a subset of the experts are active, thus reducing the number of parameters involved in generation. GPT OSS 12 billion fits in the small open source model category. In this category, it's the 3rd most intelligent model, while being the 12th bigger model. Again, not bad. It has also a pretty good ratio of intelligence per active and total number of parameters, though Qwen is slightly better per active parameters. Now if we consider all models, even the large open source models category above 150 billion parameters, the big and small GPT OSS models are both the 2nd and 8th most intelligent models, while being way smaller than the large models, which is an impressive feat. If we look at the intelligence per active parameters, there is no match. Those models are super efficient. Even regarding the total number of parameters, they are among the top models. In conclusion, OpenAI models are solid contenders. Even though they are not revolutionizing raw capabilities of open source models, they shine with their efficiency, especially relative to their number of active parameters, thanks to the mixture of expert architecture. Now let's compare those OpenAI OSS models to Qwen 3, a top open-weight model from May 2025. Looking at GPT OSS 20 billion versus Qwen 3 30 billion, similar in parameter counts, both are a mixture of expert transformers with grouped query attention, but GPT OSS stands out with its sliding window attention for context management. Also, Qwen 3 goes deeper, with 48 transformer blocks versus GPT OSS 24, while GPT OSS fights back with being wider, 2800 embedding dimensions versus 2000s, and beefier feed-forward projections. Deeper models offer more flexibility but can be trickier to train due to gradient issues, while wider ones like GPT OSS shine in inference speed through better parallelization, though they use more memory. In the mixture of expert department, GPT OSS follow the recent trends by using fewer, larger experts, just 32 versus Qwen 128, with only 4 active per tokens versus 8. Overall, GPT OSS feels like a solid, slightly conservative evolution with its wider expert-sparse design, trading off speed, training complexity, and performance. Let's have a quick look on user-reported performance on consumer hardware. For GPT OSS 120 billion, I found instances of user reporting 10 tokens per second on RTX 5090 with 32 VRAM and 96GB of RAM. On MacBook Pro M4 Max With 128 gigabytes in LM Studio, some get around 40 tokens per second. For GPT OSS 20 billions, users reported 200 tokens per second on RTX 5090 with 32 gigabytes of VRAM and 96 gigabytes of RAM. On MacBook Pro M4 Max, with 128 gigabytes in LM Studio, some get around 60 tokens per second. So you need high-end consumer hardware, but it's possible to run those models locally. Now, if you're planning to fine-tune those GPT OSS models, I strongly recommend OSS. They've optimized those models for incredible efficiency. Released just after GPT OSS dropped, they enables fine-tuning the 20 billion model on just 40 GB of VRAM, making it possible to work on free collab. That's compared to 65 GB plus required by other libraries, an 80% reduction. So how do they achieve that? GPT OSS uses MXFP4 format, which doesn't natively support training. So OSS built custom functions to handle it without upcasting to BF16, which would balloon memory usage to 300%. They also fixed chat template issues with the OpenAI Harmony library. So you get 1.5 times faster training, 70% less VRAM usage overall, and support for 10x longer contexts. For the quickest way to access GPT OSS, I highly recommend Grok Ultrafast API. They have a custom LPU hardware that makes reasoning models almost instantaneous. I'm talking about 1000 tokens per second for the 20 billion model and 500 tokens per second for the 120 billion one. The prices are also affordable, 10 cents per mega input tokens and 50 cents per mega output tokens for the smallest model. For the bigger model, you pay 15 cents per mega input tokens and 75 cents per mega output tokens. If you prefer running locally, download the models from Hugging Face. Then for hosting, I recommend either VLLM for production-grade serving with excellent batching and throughput, or LM Studio for a good desktop UI. So OpenAI OSS models are not revolutionary intelligent models, but they rank among the best open source models you can get. They shine by their efficiency, topping the chart for intelligence per active parameters. You can easily access and run them locally, though you still need strong consumer hardware, and you can have super fast affordable APIs using Grok. Finally, you can easily fine-tune them using OSS. Overall, it's a great release. Thanks OpenAI. If you enjoyed this no-hype AI overview, let me a like or subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. See you in the next one.